Hello and welcome to this marathon video. I wanted to dive into a bunch of different topics in the community that we've been having, and it's pretty thick. I think there's a lot of concerns and conversations about marathon, and I think it's more internet, Twitter fingers as they call them, but there's some good topics. So let's get into it right away. Thank you guys for tuning in. So you're going to be watching raw gameplay. This pretty good here as far as being able to see loadouts, abilities, different characters, and the whole map pretty well in this one. It's a full match actually, so enjoy. But we got into it, and the developers have been saying thank you for the feedback. They love it. Keep talking as long as it's respectful. We appreciate it, and that's a very good sentiment. And I gave my feedback. I'm going to make it pretty quick on some of the stuff that I said. I said I want private servers so that the community can run events. We can have some esports and just some fun things in a private servers where we could just do our own thing and get into. I also talked about the wipes. If people don't know what a wipe is, basically for extraction shooters, instead of having like a seasonal ranked reset, they basically do that, but for your gear. So everything you've extracted, all of that stuff gets cleaned out. And you basically got to start over after a couple months. And I kind of hate that, personally, because I feel like, what is the reward? I don't want a sticker saying, hey, you played for 10 hours. We appreciate you. I want actual rewards. I don't need a hat that says I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? These like ranked rewards that people give. The game is going to have ranked anyways. You're going to reset that. Why do that to me during the run and things like that? I think we got to figure a new way. I came up with a couple ideas. I have a whole post on Reddit, but basically just adding a permanent reward for depending on how much stuff you have, depending on specific things you have by the time the wipe comes, and you'll end up keeping a perk, an ability, or some type of buff gameplay wise. All I care is that there's some type of gameplay reward on top of whatever we get. Okay. So we'll see. Share your ideas on what could be a good way to wipe and still be relevant, and we'll find out how that goes. I talked about 6 runners, and there's a concern that it will get boring by some people, and I disagree. I said that I love the runners. I think that it is fun having different classes, but making sure that they're customizable. I want to change everything from the way they look. I want to be able to earn some of that during the season and rewards. Like, you know, just getting rewards for playing the game and getting customizations. I shouldn't have to pay for every single visual cosmetic. Also, customization of the character. This isn't a hero shooter, right? A lot of hero shooters, you can't customize a character like an RPG. This game has a class/hero system where it is going to let you customize it pretty decently, if you ask me. I like some of the features that they're offering, and they're capable, but I would like to see more freedom and consistency in that, and for them to explain it even deeper, because even though I did all my homework and I got videos about it, there's still more to learn, and how in depth can you get with making different builds and play styles. Then I talked about matchmaking. I personally think that they should make a matchmaking system that, sure, okay, it's 3-on-3 and it's always going to be 3-on-3 is what they're saying at the moment. That's fine. But if I solo queue, try to get me in a lobby with other solo queuing players. That way my lobby's somewhat full with a lot of solo queuing players, instead of it being filled with, you know, pro players stacked threes. They will search for, I'm willing to wait for a lobby that's solo queue if possible, right? Again, it's just a hope, a dream, a wish, but yeah. But that's one thing that I'm thinking about and I'm hoping for, and we'll see if they can do it. Then we talked about crossplay. One of the topics that I talk about is PC cheaters or controller versus keyboard and mouse. Having those restrictions where you have the option to turn on and off, whether it's consoles only or input, meaning controller versus controller, or all of that stuff. You could put it on and turn it off. I believe that's an important feature for every game. Since they have cross save and cross progression, please give us that as well. That would be nice. And then I talked about the PvP mode. I said that I would want a PvP mode with no AI at all. I know that it's AI is a part of the game and it's a really cool system, but somewhere along the line, make it so that, sure, you'll just add extra players into one of these maps instead of adding AI. And now the players are stacked with a lot of other players, and it turns more not into a death match. It's still going to be an extraction, but it's the most intense version, right? Like let's call it a blitz extraction mode is what I would like to just kind of label it. And then the community was talking about a topic that I don't want to get too deep into, but I do have my point of view is, and you guys probably all in the chat as well agree with this or disagree, you let me know. The conversation about pricing and the fact that this game isn't free to play. Now, I could totally understand this is an extraction shooter and it isn't the most appealing genre at the moment. I don't think that Escape from Tarkov is for everybody. I don't think that other extraction shooters are like the staple of any game, right? People still think of Call of Duty as the biggest franchise. Call of Duty has fell off somewhat from being the hot thing. You have games like Apex Legends, who has the best gunplay and the best overall shooter mechanics, in my opinion. And then you have tactical shooters like Rainbow Six Siege doing amazing things. And you don't have an extraction shooter that is for the general public that's very, very popular and user-friendly. And I do believe that, and this is a hot take, Marathon is the one game that's going to be for the public. Anybody who plays a shooter is going to be able to pick this up, have some fun with it, some crazy plays, some interesting times, and it might end up being that huge household name extraction shooter. We've had a lot of attempts and nobody's been able to crack the code to do it. This game visually looks cool. The gameplay looks great. It looks like it's easy to pick up. Again, I haven't played it, but we're just speaking about what we've been seeing. And so that's kind of where my perspective is about the game. The reason I say this when it comes to pricing is that, yeah, I would want this free to play too. I think most of us all want free to play games. That would be amazing, right? If every game was free. But that's not reality. I think people got to wake up and that this free to play mechanic and idea isn't healthy in the industry. It's creating a lot of microtransactions, a lot of battle pass and skins that you got to pay for. So you never get to buy a full game at full price and just enjoy it. You have to go and pay 3 extra different prices: the season pass, the battle pass, the whatever little extra things. And if that's what you want in your games, I get it. Make it free to play then, and then have them charge you for breathing also. And that's kind of where I look at that right now. That's kind of where the gaming industry is going. They're going to start charging us for the air we breathe as we play the video game. And so I'm not sure how expensive it's going to get, but pretty sure it's going to get expensive. And I don't want that. I want these games to have, full experience. Now, I don't know if Bungie's going to deliver on a full experience, but they're confident enough to charge people. It's not supposed to be full price, so I don't know what the price is going to be. But I can say, if it isn't full price, that's good. If it is a decent price, but the value isn't there, like it's not anything that I'm going to play long term, then yeah, why did I spend my money on that? Personally, I'm invested because I know Bungie's been amazing and I believe in them. They've never let me down in 30 years of them making games. But the fact is that this is 2025, so we don't know what's coming. But I'm not going to sit here and turn into one of these people on the internet where they're like, everything needs to be free to play and just give us pages for skins and pay for battle passes instead. I'm happy with that. I don't believe in that. I believe if you make a good product, I'll play it. Elden Ring, I'll pay for it. God of War, I'll pay for full price. Got a DLC, I'll pay for that too. If it's a good game and the quality, And so that's kind of where I stand. And again, I'm not defending or attacking Bungie on this yet. I would like to see more of the game. The most footage I got is what you're watching, a 15-minute clip of a full match. And of course the reveal gameplay that they put out, but that was very cut up and like cinematic style instead of like just a raw game. I like games where they don't do any little cuts and they don't make it look fancy, and they just let me see a full experience, because I know, like, okay, this is me with the controller in my hand, this is what I'm gonna go through, and this is what I'm gonna feel when I'm in there, and that matters to me. So until I see more of that, we can't really judge the game to the maximum extent and kind of put our finger on where this is gonna sit But I'm definitely willing to pay whatever price. That's the honest truth. Just because I know Bungie's been great to me, and I'm a fan of them, and I'm gonna support them, and then hope that they deliver. But that's one of the biggest dramas and topics that people have been stating. Personally, I can care less. And the last topic, I'm not gonna get too into it either. Joking, this is a hero shooter. They're copying Apex. Is kind of what the internet is saying. This is a copy paste of Apex. I disagree, man. Do you guys even play Apex? There's people who play Apex that try to say that, but they don't realize Apex stole a lot of stuff from Bungie. They took things from Destiny and Halo for years, and they did a good job at it. I mean, I'm not mad at Titanfall 2, and I'm not mad at Apex. I think they're amazing. They're some of my favorite first person shooters, but I'm not going to go to war about how Bungie's copying Apex, because Bungie's one of the original founders of first person shooters with a lot of different mechanics and features and things that they did well, better than everybody else, and everybody took their stuff. So I disagree with that. I think that this isn't a hero shooter because you can customize a character to a certain extent that hero shooters don't allow you to do. I mean, I played Apex for years. There's not really any customization to the character. You select the character, you have their abilities, you use them, and that's it. In this game, there's going to be a lot of different stat buffing, ability changing, morphing, and all of this, tactical aspects that are going to be really interesting. So yeah, even to the book bags, you pick a book bag, you could get an automatic reload. You pick up another book bag, you're going to get invisibility. I mean, there's a pretty good endless amount of playstyles that this game is going to offer that is nothing to do with heroes. It's more, classes and RPG elements that are in it. So that's my opinion when it comes to the current state of feedback and conversations. And there's way more to get into, but I want the community to speak up and to share what they feel and what they think in the comments. You don't have to agree with anything I'm saying. Again, I'm not here to pander to you guys. Honestly, if y'all don't know who I am, I can care less what my viewers think, if they agree or disagree. I'm not here to create a cult. You guys share your opinions, and if it disagree, that's great. We can talk about it and see where we stand. Maybe you'll help me get your perspective, and maybe you'll get mine. It doesn't matter either way. These are video games, guys. This isn't life. This isn't my politics, religion, or family matters. It's just a video game. So let's have a good talk, and thank you guys for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. I'm having fun covering this game. I'm actually getting into the nitty gritty on Discord, having a lot of discussions and conversations, and it's been a blast, man. So thank you guys so much. We did the ARG. There's probably going to be more before the game releases, hopefully. I personally, the last thing that I'll say, if there is a developer watching, somebody can send it to the developers. Tell them to please get more showcases and raw gameplay out there. This is kind of pathetic that we only got one video of raw gameplay, and then the two little clips that they had were cut up cinematic style gameplay. I mean, you guys are Bungie. You guys are some of the biggest ever in the history in the last 30 years of first person shooters. You should have the confidence to just put out footage consistently and say, hey, this is our game, this is what we're doing, we're the best, and that's it, and then prove it, right? That's how I feel, and hopefully that's the case, and we can have more fun kind of just dissecting some of this footage and getting into it. I do have some deep dives, 101 tips and tricks and deep information that I made, so you should go check that out. It's pretty in-depth, and I have other deep dives that talk about whether it's the class system. There's a very cool feature called vintage. If you find a vintage piece of gear and you extract it with it multiple times, the value goes up higher. So I haven't got all the details on it, but it's something I really need to learn more about and share my opinion on, and I'm definitely going to be making a video diving just into that topic because I absolutely am excited about it. It should be on the channel by the time you guys hear this. Right, that's it, and this is the end of the match right here. You extract and you're out of there. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one. Peace.